I do think that, everything you ever do really is sort of in the mark that you make, isn't it? I mean, essentially, I know that sounds a little bit sort of hippie bullshit, but actually, you can't be somebody else, and the life that you've lived and the experiences that you've had inform essentially every mark that you make. And so my background in illustration, and I spent God knows how many years drawing on a drawing board and then on the computer, and making line drawings every single day, and then doing life drawing as well in evenings very often for years and years and years. And it does in some way inform what you do. You can't help it informing what you do. So yeah, I think that people in Ireland, they talk about miles in the brush, and miles in the hand, and I get that the way that you make a mark is sort of, it's very highly honed, really. You spent so many years wielding a brush and wielding a pencil that you do sort of know what you're doing, and you do have a mark that is very much your own, I suppose.
Mm.
But as far as the information in the painting goes and making up the painting, yeah, I think that's just sort of developed since I did my MA here in Aberystwyth in 2010. I got interested in architecture, and I was encouraged to sort of use the line work, the technical line work even, which I'd already, up to that point, I'd always seen it as something different, as something separate to my painting practice. I was actually encouraged to sort of bring the two together. And that's really what almost immediately gave me my style, I suppose. And then I started sort of looking more at vernacular architecture, but also then finding that, well, I could produce a relatively competent image fairly quickly in terms of a drawing. But how did I then push it on? I was always very cautious with color, but the collage seemed to just add something to it. It added almost like another layer of depth, or dare I say, sophistication. It certainly knocks me slightly out of my comfort zone. It asks some questions, and so I think that's just developed over the last sort of 10, 12, 14 years, where I know the corrugated is sort of, it's very easy to sort of replicate and make something look like it's a corrugated roof. And but we all sort of borrow ideas across, and I want it to go on and be more than just corrugated paper. It's very often, I love maps, so I get maps in and wherever I can. And then increasingly text as well, stuff out of magazines or printed out text myself, and just sort of collage that in. And I don't know. There's no easy answer to sort of how long does it take. It just sort of develops, and it keeps developing, and the next painting has always got to be better than the last one that I did. And that's the fascinating thing about art, isn't it? It's sort of unraveling your own. Uh, it's like psychoanalyst, really. It's like working on yourself, like all the time, and unraveling things and trying to work out why something works and something else doesn't. And I don't know, endlessly fascinating, as long
Yeah.
as we keep the creative juices flowing.